What is the EU AI Act? The EU AI Act is the world's first horizontal, binding regulation on artificial intelligence. It takes a risk-based approach and applies globally to anyone placing AI systems on the EU market. In the next few minutes, we will unpack its structure, obligations, and timelines. Let us get started. We begin by understanding what the Act is and why every AI provider outside Europe needs to care. Four foundational concepts define the scope and reach of the AI Act. The Act defines AI systems broadly, aligning with the OECD definition and covering most modern machine learning applications. Providers bear the primary compliance burden, regardless of whether they are based inside or outside the European Union. Deployers, previously called users, have their own set of obligations, especially for high-risk systems. General-purpose AI models like large language models have dedicated rules, with stricter obligations for those with systemic risk. The Act classifies AI systems into four risk tiers, with obligations scaling to the level of risk. Some AI practices are prohibited entirely, including social scoring by public authorities and real-time biometric identification, with narrow exceptions. High-risk systems face the heaviest obligations, including risk management, data governance, human oversight, and conformity assessment. Limited-risk systems must disclose AI involvement to users so people know when they are interacting with a machine. The vast majority of AI applications, like spam filters, fall into the minimal risk category with no new requirements. Providers of high-risk AI systems must implement 7 core requirements before placing them on the market. A documented, iterative risk management process must run throughout the AI lifecycle, not just at launch. Training, validation, and testing data must meet quality criteria and be examined for potential bias or gaps. Technical documentation enables authorities and downstream actors to assess compliance across the value chain. Oversight measures must be designed so that natural persons can effectively monitor and intervene during use. Systems must achieve appropriate accuracy levels and resist attempts by unauthorized third parties to alter behavior. Many teams ask how the AI Act compares to GDPR, since both have extraterritorial reach and significant fines. GDPR regulates how personal data is processed, giving individuals enforceable rights over their information. The AI Act treats AI like a regulated product, enforcing safety, transparency, and accountability across the life cycle. The Act backs its obligations with some of the highest fines in EU regulatory history. Violations of the prohibited AI practices trigger the highest penalty tier, higher than GDPR's maximum. Breaches of core high-risk obligations like risk management and data governance fall into a second tier of fines. Supplying misleading information to notified bodies or authorities carries its own dedicated penalty tier. Unlike GDPR, enforcement is decentralized across member states with coordination through the AI office in Brussels. Let us recap the essentials of the EU AI Act before you build your compliance plan. Understanding where your AI system sits in the risk hierarchy is the first step to understanding your obligations. If you operate in hiring, credit, education, health, or safety components, expect significant work to meet the requirements. General-purpose AI providers face transparency and copyright obligations, with stricter rules for models with systemic risk. Obligations phase in over time. Use the transition period to identify your systems, classify them, and start building controls. If this preview was valuable, the full Udemy course walks you through risk classification, building a compliance program, and aligning with ISO 42001. Enroll today and get ahead of the enforcement deadlines. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the full course. Trustworthy AI, built to regulation.